Hey everybody, so we got a big one coming up today here. This is going to be for when you're done your triangle grid or low poly grid. A couple things, we got to set up a couple different layers or at least one new layer, and we got to go over a new tool with multiple features in it. So now that we're done the grid layer, make sure that you have it selected, tap on it again, and we're going to lock it. We're done with it for the time being. Either at the end, we'll be turning the grid layer black, or we will be just outright deleting it if we don't need it, which is kind of what I think is going to be the case. We need to make a new layer, but we want it in between the grid and your stock photo. So go ahead, hit the plus sign in the layers to create a new one. And I want you to move it by clicking and clicking and holding, and then you can drag it in between the two right there. So this guy is going to be our new layer for quite a while as we color each individual triangle. This might actually take about as long as the grid, but that being said, it's, I think, a lot less brain intensive, we'll say. So a couple different tools, I guess, before we get started is the paint bucket. The paint bucket tool is in the very top of your tools. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over. It looks like an actual paint bucket. A couple different things that you want here. You're going to want to bump the tolerance, in my opinion, pretty much all the way up to 55, okay? Then what you're going to want to do, the biggest thing of this, by an absolute landslide, is that button to the right of 255. You want to click it. When you click it, it'll say sample all layers. This means that it will be painting based on other layers. If you don't have this selected when you click the paint bucket, your whole layer will become the same color. I'm going to zoom in here. I work pretty zoomed in when I do this. Again, I mentioned about how if your triangles aren't actually closed, it creates an issue. So kind of the triangle in the center of like where his forehead is, here is where I'm going to start. We want to choose the most represented color within the triangle, which is typically the center of the triangle. To do that, where I have my lime green color in the color window up here, click the lime green. And then you're going to notice towards the top right, below the word Copic, is an eyedropper. Go ahead and click that, and this bullseye, or not bullseye, crosshair will come up. Wherever you go with this crosshair, just like in Photopia or Photoshop, it'll pick that color. So I'm going to go to the center of the triangle I want, let go. Got it. Perfect. Now I have my paint bucket tool. I should be able to click right in there, and it'll fill most of the triangle. As you can see, if I hide the stock photo, there is a little bit left. So I can go ahead and click the remainder, bringing back the photograph. I'm going to go back here, eyedropper, grab the most relevant color in that one. Paint bucket, pop, didn't fill the whole thing. You might not need to hide the stock photo, but as you can see, it might take a few clicks. I periodically hide it just to double check it. I'm going to do a few more here in this video before we close out for the day to show you something that could be an issue. We'll talk about it in person as well. And it is relative to selecting different colors for triangles that are next to each other. If this ever gets in the way, I know it shouldn't. Yeah, it'll go away when you click here. If a triangle next to the other triangles is the exact same color, no different. Oops. That happens, just undo. Why? There we go. If they're the same color, they're going to blend in together. So you want to make sure that each neighboring triangle is at least like slightly different than the previous. Otherwise, you're going to lose your triangle and it's just going to look like one solid color. Those are really close, but I think that's okay. I think that's different enough. We can always go, we can always go back at the end and make some, like, you know, very finite edits, if that happens. I'm finding that sometimes it's better to just hide the stock photo after you have your color and click it there. So there we go. There's a couple different ones selected. I'm going to zoom out and we'll take a look with the photo, without. And then also you can hide the the grid layer in the photo, and you'll start to see your kind of final project here come together a little bit. All right, guys, go ahead, put in a little work. Use today as an experiment day. I'll be time-lapsing this as I go around and finish them. So hopefully this answers any questions. Remember, go to top left up here again. Friendly reminder, I'll do mine right now. Save current sketch. And we're good to go. All right, guys. See you soon.